Hello. 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 Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Look at that. We have no more sunlight. Isn't that amazing? 5:42. What was the last one we did? The last one we did. This is still Thursday, December 20th. 5:42. I did 3 videos straight, and then I took a break. The neighbor lady. My parents have 2 neighbors. One of them is Mexican church guy. Tried to pray for me. I'm like, sir, I don't allow people to put themselves above me. I squared up with him. I was like, my name is Shaz. Your name's not Shaz, it's David. It's like, oh, we're done here. Maybe because I'm sweeter with women. I'm a little bit kinder. With the dude, I'm just like not feeling his energy. Neighbor lady, she's old church lady, Aretha Franklin. She sings Aretha Franklin and shit. Really sweet though. Oh, she calls me David. I don't mind if she calls me David. And my parents can call me David. Old lady can call me David. Church dude can't call me David. That's my choice. It's my fucking name. Tax return. We did tax return. So the next one's going to be the one after that. But anyway, she gave me I told her my back's messed up. Every now and then, like if she needs help with groceries and shit, her toilet went out. I went in there and turned off the water. Every now and then she's like, David, I need your help. She's really sweet though. And, but I set boundaries. I'm not trying to help her all day. But if she needs something, she has a walker and a cane. So I was like, she's trying to talk to me the other day, or like today. And I was like, I can't, I'm going for my walk. I need my back. I fucked up my back. I don't curse. I try not to curse in person. This is in person. But I'm talking to Shaz. Shaz doesn't mind if I curse. You fuckface, Shaz. What are you doing in the future, fuckface? You fucking making us money? The money coming in, fuckface? Are you working at a fucking bar? You go back to real estate? You fucking future Shaz accountable to no one because you're always promising shit. And then past Shaz has to fucking clean up the shit. And present Shaz, I fucking have to place a peacemaker between the two. That was my genius revelation when I was stoned. That's so funny. You put a monkey in front of a mirror, and this is a mirror, and he just talks. Now you put a stoned monkey in front of the mirror, and the first thing I notice is there's a camera. And I start fucking thinking about the higher order forms of. Is it that fucking wild to think that fucking weed and mushrooms helped us evolve consciousness? Is the first thing I think. I did 150 videos. This is like around 150 now. But like I did 100 videos just talking into the camera. But as soon as I got stoned, I was like, got meta with the shit. That's interesting. That says something. But yeah, a neighbor lady, she was like, David. And I was like, I can't talk. I'm going for my walk. Hurt my back. I need a walk. Work on my back. She was like, oh, I got a hot pad I can give you. I was like, I would love that. I would love that actually. So I just tried out the hot pad. I've been doing ice the last couple of days, but I'll tell you what, ice helps the pain, but that heat is nice. I never grew up with no fucking hot blankets. Never tried no heavy blankets, hot blankets, whatever. But this hot pad right in that lower back, oh shit. It's like a localized jacuzzi right in my fucking. It's like starting to stiffen up right now. Like that works. The cold is for the pain, but the hot is for the pleasure. That was fucking nice. I sat on there for like fucking a half hour, 45 minutes. Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here. What was it? It was like 4:30. I finished 4:40 maybe 4:35. And I got over there like 4:45. I was like, I'm just gonna do 15 minutes. Come back here. I was there for like 45 minutes, just fucking toasty. And I did three so far today. And some of you, including me, some of Shaz, my audience of one, this is for Shaz, is like, why the light? Because we don't got fucking time, Shaz. We can't do this fucking daylight savings, waiting for the sun to go down, and then it's dark, and then it looks like I'm fucking, you see all these lines in my forehead and shit. It's like, I'd rather have this raccoon thing, whatever the fuck's going on right here. If I was like, I'm looking around, if I could put a light, it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever. This is cool. This is better than the fucking no light. No light, it looks like I'm in a fucking cave. We're just gonna do this. I like the aesthetic, but whatever. We lost the glasses. I have the glasses here. I just rather fucking talk without the glasses. I usually wear contacts. The glasses only because I'm poor. This has been like walkabout Shaz. Imagine this fucking homeless Shaz walking about the streets of New York, fucking 2 backs to my name with my dorky ass glasses on. And fucking my revolutionary hat. I just look like a homeless fucking college professor. It is what it is. Alright. So we're just gonna fucking do some more. How many did I did 3? I did real estate license. No, I did R4L showings, New Jersey, and the tax return. So now I'm on the CA California marijuana rec. Now these are just like placeholders. Not even fucking talking about this shit. It is what it is. I'm getting loose with these last couple. This is just like we're fucking limping across the finish line. Even the way I'm speaking, like now I'm just fucking speaking to figure like quicker and shit like that. It's like before I was like, hello, my name is Shells, and this is my life, and do. And now I'm just like, hey, who the fuck gives a fuck? It is loose and sloppy as we fuck. Oh, that back is fucking. All of that shit's coming back. I was almost like perfect with that heat. I was done. It was just like I forgot I had a fucking lower back pain. Anyways, I feel reinvigorated because we did 3, and if my folks don't come home anytime soon, I'll do 3 more. I'll knock out 3 in a row. We'll get back to rambling, Shaz. What did I just talk about? I was thinking also I was giving it a break because I got myself a little heated talking about that little fucking dick nipple, our little fucking ass pimple. What's his name? That kid who was a lawyer in Tribeca, and I was sitting in New York trying to do that real estate hustle. Had the British girl, one of the coolest girls I've met in my life. Just meeting a girl like that, and then having them like recognize you're down, and she just jumped right into my arms, and we had these adventures. We just recognized each other as like these wandering fucking adventurous spirits. Even the age difference didn't matter, nothing. We were just fucking cool. My family liked her. When I got down to Puerto Rico, she just blended right in. Her fucking family, I never met them, but they're like, must have heard good enough stories. They're like, if you want to fucking marry this guy, to date him, because we have to work around this nation state shit. Like, money could cross freely between fucking borders, but we all have paperwork and shit. Capital flight is a real economic fucking travesty that assets grow and deflate based on speculation, and yet fucking people have to carry their paperwork. What type of fucking world do we live in? The dollar bill has more rights than you. A corporation has more rights than you, more free speech, more ability to organize its bankruptcies, ability to hide its assets, wage its wars of aggression. You still have to bleed for those, though. Maybe not on the aggressor side. The drones, so we have the robots killing, but the victims will always bleed. The victims will always bleed. Isn't that a bitch? We're going to get the world right. We're walking our way back to the present, almost. I'm starting to feel like myself. I started this journey. Coming back into society. Coming back into society. I am. See, so as I've walked my narrative, my humble little story of Shaz and how he became the barbarian that he is, and the barbarian that he wants to be, the barbarian that he isn't. I walked through all my little stories, put a structure on my life, at least enough to be able to relate it to myself in a year's time, and add more stories and structure, and add it to a narrative as a part of a book project. So this is a form of note taking. I'm going fast enough that I'm stumbling off of my mumbling. So a part of my note-taking for my book project, Truth and Narratives. I've done these videos verbally. A little bit through, I decided to put the speaker from the top of the computer in front of me, and I find the audio quality is much improved. And then about like maybe a week ago, I decided to get stoned and realized I was taking the shit a little bit too seriously and gave up the fucking turtleneck or whatever the fuck I was wearing. It was cool. I was just like, all right, let's have any narrator or writer, any artist of the spoken or written word, constructor of narratives in any form, dramatic, humorous, interpretive, whatever the fuck. Drama has an arc, so obviously I'm going to change as I develop these stories. So they started a little bit uptight, and now they're getting looser, and now we're just fucking trying to we're just taking it home. We got like 2 more days. We got Friday and then maybe one day of the weekend. I got 10 more. 10 more of these. No, I don't. I got 13 more. I got 3 more today, 5 more tomorrow, and then 5 more on the weekend, I think. Something like that. Maybe 6 more tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Yeah, if I did 6 today, I could do 6 tomorrow. Maybe I'll do this 3-3 split. It's my pop's birthday on Saturday. They want to do something. Maybe I'll do something Saturday or Sunday. Maybe I'll take this outside. Maybe I'll do the last couple fucking outside. This has enough battery. I could go somewhere. Take this to a park. I just don't want to do them around the folks. I don't want to do them around someone. I want to be able to speak freely. Sometimes I'm stupid. Sometimes I curse a lot. Talking about my fucking sex fucking stories and shit. Got to get all that frontal lobe shaz, or whatever you call it. Maybe it's limbic shaz, emotional shaz, reptilian brain shaz, but we got to get the unfiltered shit, the raw sugar cane. And then we could fucking turn me into a sweet candy later on. But this is all some raw shit. This is some unfiltered shit. This is some like unprocessed moonshine. This is moonshine shaz. This is moonshine shaz. No labels. We don't do labels here. Moonshine shaz don't do labels. What is it? I'm gonna fuck up my shit. All right, what are we doing? We 11 minutes. We burned off some ego. Burn off some ego with some random talk. Where are we at? I had to think of that. I didn't even fucking think. I was just relaxing. Played some chess. What's nice is sometimes you play chess and then you whoop someone's ass and then they are nice enough to come back and get a second ass whooping. It's like I've had that. Well, I've learned to stop after someone beats me once, twice. It's like they just got your number. But this dude, he wanted a couple, so I obliged. That's the same thing in wrestling or anything else. It's like, oh, okay, I can teach you some lessons if you want. If you're looking for an instructor, I have some lessons to give you. There are many lessons we can learn in life, and some of them we learn through books, and some of them we learn through lumps. And get your lumps and learn your lessons. I carry mine on my head. I have plenty of lumps and cracks and scars. I got one on the back of my hand. Fucking scar. What are my scars? I got fucking... I get myself a fucking lump in the back. Fucking, who deadlifts until their back pops? Come on, Shaz. What the fuck are you doing? What does that say about your fucking problem solving and skill setting? That's like, what type of manager, CEO are you gonna be? You gonna fucking break like, what type of personal trainer are you gonna be? Tell someone to lift something until it breaks their back. Come on, Shaz, come on. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta treat yourself like a child. Is that how I would treat my kid? Do it, just do it until your back pops. Come on, Shaz. That's why you need peace, because you have this engine in your mind and in your heart. Just go, go, go. I'm smart. I'm fucking willing to bust my ass, work hard, blah, blah, blah. What did I say when I wrote the Tao? Fucking cool before being used and heat before being broken. So it's cool to be hot-headed. Or I mean, it's interesting to be hot-headed, but steam is used to power engines. So if you don't cool down, you might just be, your hot-headedness is being used by someone else in their equipment. And then you want to warm before being broken. It's also nice to be cold, hard as ice, solid. But you want to make sure you're not broken, chipped off. Benefits and negatives. Every state of matter has a benefit and the negative. Every fucking physical thing that has properties can be used for the benefits of those properties, and then it also has vulnerabilities. Diamonds are fucking the hardiest material in the world, right? What, mole rating of like 10, but they shatter relatively quickly. They're hard, but I forgot what that is. There's a hardness and there's something else. Kevlar the same way. Kevlar will distribute impact really well, but you could cut it with a fucking scissors. What's that? Anyways, that's enough. We got fucking 15 minutes of rambling. I was in Tribeca. I came back. I couldn't make my peace with that. I made my peace with that dude. My open conversations aren't people that I hold grudges against. They're just things that I feel like there's more moves to be made. They're not open. I'm trying to live my life peacefully, and when I have peace, I'll let stuff go. So I don't hold grudges like with my landlady. taught her everything I could teach her through our interactions. And she had a point. I owe her money. Once I give her money and we end our conversations, then I'll have interacted with her as much as I should in life. And she'll know me and my character. I'll give her money and her interest in shit. I'm not trying to steal her money. But she came at me a certain way, and now she's getting a certain response. And the response is still pending. Same thing with YouTube, fucking Facebook, my interactions with technology. What's Airbnb? How many do I have? People just, Airbnb kicked me off. Why? Because the way I was interacting with them and the way I was talking about their clients, someone sexually assaulted my roommate. My, for all intents and purposes, my girlfriend. We're on again, off again, but someone tried to climb into my bed and then touch the girl I was sleeping with. And then Airbnb unilaterally ended the discussion I was having with them about that. Kicked me off and stopped talking to me. What type of bullshit is that, Airbnb? I kicked that kid out. We were talking about it. We were talking about other stuff, other people that they said that there was a complaint. Didn't tell me who complained against me. Didn't give me a chance to defend myself. I started talking about the sexual harassment complaint. And then they just fucking kicked me off. And then just stopped talking to me. That's not how the real world works. The reason why that conversation hasn't continued is I have other shit to do. Shaz is finding his peace. And then when I get my personal and mental ducks in a row, then we line it up. We line up the path ahead and we run through it. So that's all. I'm just getting stronger and bigger and badder and tougher and more peaceful and in control and smarter and wiser. And then we go and we lift. We walk up to whatever fucking the Smith machine or the bench or whatever we're doing today. And then we put the work in. That's all. And every day you put the work in, you get stronger. You eat, you rest, you take care of yourself, and you get stronger. That's all life's about. You got your routine. Wake me in my own bed after a full rest to make love before eating a large breakfast of meats and fats, smoking deep in conversation within gardens. What is it? Wake me in my own bed after a full rest. Wake me in my own bed after a full rest to make love before eating a large breakfast of meats and fats, smoking deep in contemplation within gardens with my second cup of coffee. Speaking of which, I think we got a little bit of coffee left. I don't think I need it. What was I doing after Tribeca? I told myself I was going to walk the fucking Carmine through this narrative. What was I doing after Tribeca? Look at that. I'm getting all antsy. I'm just like, it's not that like I can't wait for these things to be done, but they're almost done. So it's like I'm transitioning. I was pensive Shaz. I was slow Shaz. I was humble Shaz. I was introspective Shaz. I'm starting to, it's talking about, this is what I thought. I thought I'm going to start at the beginning, but when I end at the end, I'm going to end in my real estate mode. I'm going to end in my, like, so why did I stop that? Why did I leave that money on the table, this life on the table, all those lessons on the table that I learned, that fucking confidence that I had, the fucking shit I was doing? Why'd I leave that? It's for something bigger. I put it all in and I said, this isn't enough. I want the comfort of my lifestyle, but I want the dignity of my values. I'm not going to fucking sacrifice my values and what I've earned up to this point, 30 years old, fucking questioning everything, and I'm just going to sacrifice it all to be a little real estate douchebag? Nah. I don't make fucking 100 times that money, fucking 1,000 times that money. I'm going to do it my way. I will look around at the world and notice the people that I disagree with their values and what they're doing. The Mark Zuckerbergs and the Elon Musk and the fucking Eric Schmidts and I'm going to say, you're keeping my money warm for me because I have the same brain you have. I just have better character. I have more confidence. I have more courage. I articulate myself better. I've been with better women. I've seen better things. I've seen the things that money can't buy. I walked through shit that would fucking make you shit your fucking, I don't know. Walk the streets I walked alone is what I said. When I was writing my rap, I was like, walk the streets I walked alone. I'm not the baddest man on the planet. I'm just a man. I'm no better. I'm no worse than anyone else. I just said I'm all better than all those fucking dudes. That's the humility. You're no better and you're no worse than anyone else, yes. That's where you leave your mind. But that being said, if someone doesn't have the values that you have and you feel like your values are hard won and they're the efficient ways to live life as a natural expression of the sociability and empathy of the human being as expressed through the ideology of anarchism, that we have an innate natural social expression that doesn't require a top-down hierarchy. Children naturally on the playground will develop social skills and interactions which are more cooperative than hierarchical. They might have ranking based off of strength and skill set, but those strengths and skill sets prove themselves at different times to be valuable. In times of crisis, sometimes the alpha bossy skill set is valuable. But once things settle down for the long term, the maternal, communicative, cooperative skill set comes out. And then that holds true for, this is all fucking scientific shit. We're in the internet age, you could just fucking look this shit up. If I've read it, it's out there. I read mainstream shit, I don't read obscure shit. I try not to go too far away from the mainstream so we can tie it back in. So if I feel like I'm figuring out the pattern of life, and then I'm applying it in my life, and it's reaping rewards, and then I recognize that people are sitting on these fucking mountains of corporations, mountains of money, but they're outside the pattern. Something's wrong there. They're just holding their money for someone else. If I come in with the better questions, they have the money and the algorithms and the resources, but I have the better questions. I have the better curiosity. So I'm not better than those people. No one's better than me, though. Perhaps I'm more creative. That's the one thing I will say. No one is better than me, and I'm no better than anyone else except at asking questions. That's the realm to compete in. Not toughness, not even courage, this and that. When it comes down to it, fucking everyone feels fear. It's like, but that question I would ask then at the time of fucking cowardice is, now what do you do? And then how do you answer that question? It's like, that's what, in the time of fucking chaos, instability, this and that, are you asking questions about your safety? I'm just fucking curious about what's going to happen. I'm more curious than anything else. I wonder what the fuck is going to happen. Where does that come from? This fucking, I don't know. It's not, that's the ego, the humility. It's not about me. It's about the process. If I really care about ideas, then live my ideas, live my values, and then the world will sort out what's good and bad. If I err, tell me but where. As I correct this philosophy that I'm living, it's a very interesting way to live, and it's the only way to live, I guess. I think this is a natural expression of human behavior. All of society has built up in a way to help us express and then interact with each other's philosophies. Everything else is just a fucking con. So I am firming up my philosophy so I could go fucking walk it around the block is the idea. 22 minutes. What did I do after Tribeca? I was doing the roommate matching, so did I jump into a room then? This is like when I sit down and actually review, I'm going to look through my emails, but I'm trying to do it without. That girl took off. I was probably butthurt about the British thing. We salvaged it. Me and her had a really good time while we were down there. She was so pissed at me at first. She was in the hospital. She was so overwhelmed by the douchebag, and then he left right before I got there. I had to wait until New York. If I caught him on the island, I don't know if I would have been as restrained. Island Chaz is a little less civilized. Especially hearing all this shit firsthand. I had like a week or two to calm down. But, yeah. I might have taken him for a long swim. But yeah, she was in the hospital. It was too stressful. Her fucking kidneys were like, or some shit. She got an infection. She just got freaked out. And then I show up at my friend's house. I'm like, where is she? And she's like, she just went to the hospital. And I'm like, fuck, I'm such an asshole. I show up to the hospital. She's like in the bed fucking looking at the wall. This tiny little girl. Just fucking just staring at the wall, just like curled in the fetal position. And I walk up, talk to her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She turns over and she just doesn't want to look at me. She's like, she couldn't believe it first. She's like, because I didn't tell her I was coming down. She thought I blew off the vacation. She turns over and I'm like, she's like, oh my. And she puts her hand over her face. She's like, I'm like, she forgave me within a day. She fucking checked out right then and there. She was like, I was like, can I take you out here? She was like, yeah. It was like more like overwhelming than anything. She was overwhelmed by like staying at my friend's. Like my friend was cool with her. Like not my roommate, but my friends down there took care of her. But she didn't know what to do. She was all by herself in a new country. I abandoned her, and this guy was like, she said at one point she felt physically threatened. On the beach, she was like, why are you with Shaz, David, whatever? Why don't you be with me? And they're all alone on a beach. This guy's creeping her the fuck out. Fucking close to double her body weight. He's a dork, but he used to be a wrestler. He's not a small guy. It's like, guy guys do not understand. Like, you just be empathic. There's no excuse to make other people feel uncomfortable. But yeah, we were driving back. I got pictures to the place, and I took her a good day. Yeah, she didn't hook up with me that night. It took a couple nights for that. I didn't even fucking blame her. She was like, I wonder sometimes I'm not the smartest in my decisions or judgment, and then people suffer for it in my life, and then you have to take responsibility for that. And appreciate people who still fuck with you after stuff like that. She doesn't fuck with me anymore because I had another one. Not that bad. Just another one. I could tell that story, I guess. No, I'm trying to stay linear. That story will come up. How did I get to 178 Thompson? That was a roommate. He was into crypto. He had a Bitcoin blog that turned into a startup, and now he's one of the experts, I would say. He goes to conferences and speaks and shit. He knows more than the fucking Winklevoss twins and douchebags. Shaz, why do you have so many enemies? I don't have enemies. I have opinions. The Winklevoss twins. I want to tell that story. I could have gone to one of their conferences about Bitcoin. Instead, I decided to take mushrooms. I guess I'll tell it, because that's why I go on these tangents, because if I don't tell them, I won't remember them. I was dating a girl. That was one of the Thompson stories. Dating a girl that I should have spent more time and effort into taking out and stuff, but it's that work thing. Working so much, didn't have time to be a good boyfriend. I had the apartment, I had the roommate. Before I got my own apartment, I had my own room, so I had people to take back to my room. But then, so when I felt like there's no clients today, take the time off, shots. Like that Puerto Rico thing really stayed in my mind. Like, when you have the time to take off, take the time off. Staying a couple days to try to go after that extra $4,500 commission, I was just in my mind, I was like, I could pay for the vacation, I could make it a nicer vacation, so many justifications. And then meanwhile, this predatory fucking douchebag is making the girl that, like, at the time being, like, she was probably the most important girl in my life at the time being. Easily. She was like, I hadn't met other people, but like that one was on my mind. She's fucking on a beach with some. Everyone interacted with that roommate, said he gave them a bad vibe. I sent them, before they went to Vieques, I sent them to a hostel, a homie of mine in Old San Juan. He told me that he crashed a bike there. When I came down, I fucking kind of like did damage control. Gave that guy like $100, more than enough for his bike. I was like, I'm sorry for my friend. I fucking apologized to my Puerto Rico friend. She was like, what are you doing? Why fucking don't send? It's like, you look bad when you make. I sent them with good people to take care of them at every step of their journey. And that roommate fucking made me look bad with every single person that I hooked him up with. It was like, why are you... Like, they're telling me, like, don't affiliate with people like that. What are you fucking... And don't send them to my house. What the fuck are you... Like, a dude like that wouldn't last on the island. You can't act that way, have those values. You get run out of there. You couldn't survive in New York, though. You fucking thrive in New York. You can be as big of a dick as you want in New York and then run back to your fucking apartment like a cockroach. He's living in Jersey now. He couldn't handle it in Manhattan. That's another thing. Manhattan does test you to the point that, like, unless you have like a big fucking bank behind you, fucking, you do have to kind of like hustle and shit like that. You didn't have the work ethic to stay in Manhattan. That's something that I learned to fucking check from clients too. The people who are really coming to the city and the people who, like, the way they would talk. I'm just like, go to Long Island, go to fucking Brooklyn or something, go to fucking Hoboken. You're asking too many qualification questions. Manhattan is expensive, and it's hard to fucking be here. And I live in one of the most expensive neighborhoods, one of the most expensive cities in the world. You're fucking complaining about it. You come here because you're making money. You don't come here to look for a bargain. Go to fucking Kentucky or fucking Florida or some shit. I don't know. Humboldt. I was just looking at places in Humboldt. You can rent a really nice place for $500. There's plenty of cheap places right here. My folks rent this place for $1,000. It's fucking beautiful. You could get a nice room for $1,000. You can't even get a room in Manhattan for $1,000. When I was doing the roommate matching, $1,000 room is nice. Upper East Side, Upper West Side, downtown you start at $1,500 a room. And then fucking, so that's why I tell people, you might as well get a studio if you could just bust an extra $200. Or no, now $200. Back then it was like you really needed $2,000. Now you got some decent studios for $1,700, $1,800. Shaz talking out his emotions. He's just gonna rant for fucking 3 hours. What did I do? I'm trying to remember what I did after Tribeca And I'm trying to burn off all of that fucking emotion about that fucking kid. Because that's what he was, a child. Emotional child. With his 2 cats. What type of grown man owns 2 cats? That might sound ignorant of me, but I've always been suspicious of a grown man who owns a cat. And one of my roommates, the fucking game developer, he owned a cat, so he was breaking my suspicion. I was like, that dude's character was impeccable. We went out, had beers, I met his girlfriend, she came down. He was just a fucking, that's why he probably married his girlfriend, never trying to fuck around on his girlfriend. He was like, he's just a solid dude. He was who he said he was. That's all you want from people. Just be who you say you are. Have a word and keep it. That's all you gotta do in life. Fucking, you know what it is? That lawyer didn't have a good relationship with his father, and us men model on other men, and he just didn't have any good role models, and then growing up, he fucking doesn't learn about the right things to value, and then doesn't realize he should start correcting these blind spots. I didn't have the best role models. My dad was kind of absentee because he wasn't really shown. I don't blame him, but I acknowledge it. But I've always sought out strong male figures in my life, older friends or other stuff, people I work for, companies I work for. When I was in the army, I wasn't finding good role models. There were aspects of some of the soldiers and sergeants I liked. Every now and then I met a high-speed dude where I'm like, that's a fucking super soldier. I wouldn't mind being like that dude, but there's a lot of careerism. A lot of just stick your head down, get your paycheck, put your time in, get your retirement. Like, it's never been the Shah's way. Put your head down, do what you're supposed to do just to fucking get your basic. I've always been like all or nothing. The water's clearing out the fucking phlegm from just a little milk in my fucking coffee, and I get phlegmy. It's good though. It's good. I'll probably drink this next coffee black. We're gonna power through these. Look at that. Already a half an hour. All you gotta do, Shaz, is speak. That's all we have you here. Interrogate your ass. For 13 more hours, just speak. Whatever's on your mind. Hopefully somewhat along this narrative. Fucking Tribeca. Where the fuck did I go? This is weird memories, right? Memories. So I left their ass. A soldier came in there. I could speak about that. So I had to rent my room out. So I put up as soon as I came back, before I even talked to the kid. And I told the other roommate. That's when I took him out to the bar. I broke it down to him. The other roommate who fucking saw the dude, I was like, look, I gotta move out, dude, because I can't live with this guy. And then told him what happened. And then in front of the other roommate, I told that lawyer kid, you know I should fucking kick your ass for that, right? But I'm just moving out. It's done. And he's just all like looking around. And the other roommate's just like, because his eyes are wide. He's just hearing the story. He's just like, he's not getting in the way. He's just like, he wouldn't fucking blame me. Whatever. I wasn't that mean. After I said it, and I was like, but I was drinking. I was drunk. Happy Shaz again. Enough time passed. I was just like, I'm just leaving, but I just wanted to punk him a little bit in front of the other roommate, just to fucking goad him into fucking being stupid. But he didn't show any form of ego, so it's like, whatever. So I just, also as a heads up for the other roommate, I just kind of like, this is what type of dude you're dealing with. A total piece of shit. You're a total piece of shit. See, he's a total piece of shit. He's letting me call him a total piece of shit in front of you, because he's a total piece of shit. And if he doesn't let me call him a total piece of shit, then he's fucking, well, he's being a good boy, and he's taking his verbal punishment. I'm done. That's enough for me. That's enough shit. I punish him. That's what it is. I tell these stories and I get back in the fucking emotions of the story. It's like watching a movie. Your brain fucking mimics the movie. Every time you remember stuff, you look at stuff, your brain's going through. These little mirror neurons in your head are firing. It's really, I can't really watch movies now and shit like that. I'm so aware of my path and my story and me trying to create these ideas, and I appreciate the path I'm on and the ideas I'm getting now that I'm clearing all the shit out of my head. And then like right now I'm laying down. That's why I play chess and I do other shit, or I read, or watch basketball. But watching other people's narratives, there's too much bullshit out there. I have to be very wary of the shit that I put in my head. There's a bunch of fucking crack cocaine that people are shoving in their head. Bullshit narratives that just support authoritarianism, support retributive violence. Fucking terrible models about fucking sex and women and men, emasculated men, and fucking over-sexualized women or whatever. You don't got to be judgments about it, but just it doesn't vibe with what I've learned in life that works. And I've spent a lifetime trying to take the bullshit out of my head and figure out what actually works in my life based off of business and love and reciprocation. Have life tell me what works, not fucking stuff that has a profit motive. There's good art out there. I don't know. I watched that movie, fucking The Making of a Star, or A Star Is Born. I kind of liked it. It was alright. It wasn't the worst. I hate everything, and that's just because I'm an up-and-coming artist. And when you're trying to get your voice out there, you're projecting a lot just because you're like, I want to be heard too. I want to listen to me. I have a voice. It was kind of meta. I like Lady Gaga. I watched her 5'2" documentary. I was like, I'd date that girl. She shouldn't be as lonely as she comes off in this documentary, but good women, it's hard to find a good man with all that bullshit. And then once you get fucking rich and famous, then you're insulated. You're insulated from fucking, now you have to pick among the fucking predators and the fucking, you're tiny. It's like, I totally recognize that. Unless you're, I don't think that would happen to me because I fucking mix it up with the regulars, but it becomes a pedestal, and a pedestal is confining as any cage. Everyone has an assumption about you before that you meet them. It's fucking, so you never get that fresh take anymore. That's crazy. Fucking, that's like an allegory if there ever was one. Your ego has contained all other aspects of your personality. But maybe it was an ego. Maybe it was art. Maybe you had a voice that you couldn't be repressed. That's what that movie was about. Is you have to have something worth saying. Does Lady Gaga have something worth saying? My poker face. Call me on the telephone. I don't know what her fucking silly songs are. She can really sing though. She can really, I recognize that. She came down the street from me. That's what the Village is. The Village is the type of neighborhood when she made that 5'2", she went down to the Red Line. Or maybe it was Terra Blues, but we have a couple nice venues right there. She sat on the fucking, one of the balconies, second floor or something, sang over to the street. I was dating a pretty basic girl at the time. I was like, Lady Gaga's right down the street, we should go. I was like, this is going to be a shit show, you don't want to go down there. She was like, what else did she want to do? All the fucking basic shit. She watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That girl down the hall, that's what it is. I dip my foot into the fucking mainstream culture. In order to get with the girl down the hall, I had to drink bottles of wine with her and fucking watch Real Housewives. I love this. I love this shit. Oh my god, it's everything. It's what? This wine is great. This wine is everything. Oh, you wouldn't believe. Oh my gosh, that restaurant is everything. What the fuck? You keep saying that. And then I watch that show, and those fucking bitches are saying it on the show. I'm like, you don't realize you're internalizing this shit? Do you think you're watching it sarcastically? You have a graduate degree. You're studying fucking art history in Paris at the Louvre or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever art. It was fancy university in Paris, and she's studying art history. Such a fucking intellectual, speaks like 3 languages. It's like, pay attention to the shit that you're eating. You're ingesting shitty culture. Anyways. She was a woman, though. She was a woman. She was beautiful too. She was a lot more than she gave herself credit for. That's another thing, is the insecurity. Insecurity of women in the modern age. I was like, I never fucking said you weren't beautiful. I never said why would you put yourself down? I haven't put you down once. All I've come into your life is with positivity. And that's why I was hanging out with her. She's moving and she was overwhelmed. I was like, oh, come over. I'm reading a lot of Zen. Maybe I can be a calming force. I love smoking weed, and so she loves smoking weed too. Once 2 people admit to each other they smoke weed, then we could fucking have nothing in common, but that's enough. So I'd come over, we'd smoke, we'd hang, watch her shitty fucking shows, but just like chill her the fuck out. She'd get anxious about the movement, and I'd be like, don't worry about it. She's talking about how her ex was supposed to help her, but she was getting too emotional. He was like, you need to calm down. I can't deal with this. He was like, the people who are like, your emotional excitability is stressing me out. It's like, dude, that's what friends are for. I was like, don't worry about it. Don't hang out with that dude. He obviously is a douchebag. If you're too much for him, then fucking let him be. You ain't too much for me. I think you're hilarious. Just fucking keep giving me weed and wine, and I'll be your friend forever. Shaz the fucking pet. It reminded me of growing up in the apartment complex, going over to neighbors' houses. She was right down the hall, just for like a good week. We just go fucking. That was our routine. I come over. We just hang out, talk. I talked to her about the Buddhism that I was writing, the Tao. I was writing the Tao at the time. Show her my notes. She told me that my notes reminded her of graduate school notes. I was going like line by line trying to understand the shit. She was like, yeah, that's how deep we go when we go into fucking some text, original source material. We really go line by line. I had a note-taking system. She very, as someone currently in graduate school, she kind of justified my process, like saying it like it seemed like somewhat like it seemed familiar, which made me feel good. That's what it is. I'm teasing that she had bad taste in culture, but that's not what defined her. What defined her was she had a great heart, and and I think I validated some of the things in her life that were helpful for her at the time, and she validated some of the things in mine. Yeah, we're just lonely. We were both lonely. I mean, I had Dancer Girl, but I'm trying to wait for the Tribeca thing to come back to me. I left alright, I'm just gonna have to fucking take a stab at it. Let me go backwards from Thompson. Thompson was a Bitcoin kid. And after that, I'm almost solid how to get to... I know I am solid, because all the places after that were... I didn't go to any more rooms, no more hostels. So after Tribeca... No, not after Tribeca. Before Thompson, 172 Thompson. It was a roommate situation. I put some roommates together. That was a roommate match, and that was one of the last ones, because that was one of the bad ones. The fucking kid freaked out, and then like the guy, the Bitcoin guy, was normal. He's fucking... I'm just probably a little too wild, so we don't stay in each other's lives. He has a fucking startup worth millions of dollars, and fucking talks to the heads of fucking national banks and shit. He's a serious dude. He went through Y Combinator and shit. Shaz has met a couple people in my walk about the business world. All my books in the living room. Took like fucking 3 months to get the books in my room. Built shelves, bookshelves all around my room. I treated him well. It was a $3,400 2-bed. He paid 17, I paid 17, but his room was like 12 by 10 and my room was like 5 by 7. So like I barely put a single bed in there, which made the fucking cuddling nicer when I had a girl. We both got girls right away. And that's what I liked him, because like we just noticed we were normal people. I asked him, like, after we were roommates, I was like, why'd you do business with me? Just fucking doing normal shit. Shaz exploring his business. He was like, because you're cool, you're fucking normal. You're not like these brokers trying to fucking take advantage of people. He had gone to like graduate school for computer programming, computer science. Cornell, maybe. And then fucking, yeah. So he validated a lot of stuff when I would talk to him. We, just being able to talk intelligently with another person. Yeah, so I give him, like, that's what it is. Shaz comes into your life, and he qualified for the apartment on his own easily. He is fucking, his business, he won. Even if his business, he has a long enough runway and enough fucking ways to pivot, he's good. He isn't... Blockchain technology is here to stay, whether it's for Bitcoin or whether it just fucking performs other services. He's in that shit deep. But I'm still on his email service. So I have like years of their emails, so I have a nice little window into that fucking world. From like a dude I trust and I understand his business, so like I can watch that develop. That's what it is. It's like now I have a little fucking feeder of information for that industry. And I have a feeder of information for like the venture capitalist industry. That's what a nice thing about being a broker is, since we're a cross-pollinator. I would tell my clients this. I'd be like, I need to start doing networking, because I meet so many fucking people. Like, first of all, like for dating and shit, like these people, like a lot of these single people, I could just be like, in one night I could fucking get like 5 relationships and 2 possible marriages out of it, fucking. But also just for networking. That's why I was starting to realize, what's a good broker? A good broker knows people. Like I just start... Every woman in tech, I would send them to this one girl, because she had a woman in tech meetup, and she was fucking, she had a great mentor in Silicon Valley who was a pretty famous angel investor. He's a name. You could drop his name and fucking it'll open doors for you. She worked at his smaller company that was like a side project for him that only had like a dozen employees, if that. So she had a good relationship with it. Once you have a good relationship with a person like that in an industry where you have their ear and attention at least some of the time. And so she was parlaying that into like other stuff, rounding out her. She was really sweet. I took her on a date, but we didn't really, until I got my girlfriend and I told my girlfriend the first one I got at 172 Thompson, what should I call her? NYU. She was going to NYU graduate school. Until I even told her, I was like, I'm just trying to practice. I haven't really like been dating in a minute. So I'm just really, and she was like, I'll be your practice. We were just joking around. But I was like, I just really like haven't really like been having consistent sex or being with like people. So like, I'm not looking for something serious. I'm just trying to like get back in the swing of things. And she's like, oh fuck it, and you can practice on me. Yeah, that's the one I messaged just now. We didn't, not just now, but like I've been talking to her a little bit. That was a couple years. That was my solid, before the dancer girl, that was like a solid relationship. NYU. But yeah, so like in between like these little dates, or like we stopped and then we started again. We had a little bit of a break. But that tech girl, I took her to some of these clients, like clearly after we close the business, we go out for a drink or something. Like that's like where the full service kicks in. Or some of them might be like, all right, there's enough of a vibe that like, let's go grab a drink. But just, that's what the NYU girl, she was a full service. That's why I didn't get a fucking date any of them. Because the first one I fucking took out, we just fucking, you put out what, you attract what you put out. And me and her, there was this, it was really interesting. Fucking, I should tell that story. Yeah, I got 13 minutes. No, because we have to figure out how we got to Thompson. And then we'll fucking tell the story of her. Shall we? Who cares? I'll figure it out. Wait, so then we went to the Lower East Side. But we went to the Lower East Side from the hostel. We didn't go from Tribeca to the hostel again. I think we went from Tribeca into a room for rent. That's what it was. And then fucking, yeah, I'm trying to think. It wasn't an apartment. I didn't get an apartment then. Went from Tribeca to a room to rent. And then when did I get the car? And then I got the fucking, I'm gonna have to check the emails. I'm drawing a blank. Tribeca probably to a room to rent. And then I got my fucking car around May 2014. I probably went that room for rent. I probably thought I was gonna parlay that because I was always like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So from Tribeca, it was a roommate situation. I was like, I'm gonna get an apartment in my name. Didn't realize that the credit thing was gonna take a little bit longer. I hadn't paid my student loans and shit, and hadn't filed taxes. I had to file like a whole shitload of back taxes, student loans, fucking get a lot of stuff dropped off my credit, and all that shit takes 3-6 months. And I wasn't writing the letters. I was paying $85 a month, and they were just doing the automated shit. But it still takes a minute for it to drop off. It took like a good year to clean all that shit up. And good commissions to when like I called creditors. I'm just like, I just want it off my credit. What is it? Will you send me a receipt? I don't want to fucking, I want it off, paid in full. I don't want to fucking, I wasn't negotiating with anyone. I was just like, what did I owe? I'll give you your money. It was like a good 10 grand maybe. It wasn't that much. Right now I have about 100 grand in debt. I've let it run a little bit more. I probably like, which isn't that bad. Like 20 grand credit cards. Fucking, probably 10 grand for the car that I let go. Got my car repoed. And then probably 70 for the IRS, 2 years worth of taxes. And, and then my landlady, so probably 125. 125, Shaz. I did it before. I was like, well, I fucking caught myself up before. It's a little bit steeper hill to climb this time. We will see if I am smart as I think I am. But what did I do? So I got a room probably on the Upper East Side. I know I stayed there for a little bit. Yeah, my roommate matching was fucking me up. I had a group on the Upper East Side. The kid turns out to be a fucking paranoid schizophrenic or some shit. Bipolar. Medicated bipolar is what it was. I can't ask those questions because of HIPAA laws and shit. I'm clean with my shit. I don't say shit I'm not supposed to say. I read the fucking book in one night to pass a real estate test, but I understand from insurance and other shit. You do business the right way. I'm pretty loose, but not that loose. That's what I was talking about the credit shit. Every now and then, like, you slip up talking about someone's credit and someone corrects you. a couple times I've had people correct me, and it only makes you better. They say, you're not really allowed to discuss that shit. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Fucking, it only takes once. And then you fucking, but yeah, so like but the mom of this kid didn't tell me that her fucking son had an issue. It's like, you're fucking psycho, bitch. She was a psychologist too. She was a sweet lady. I got the commission, but that was a huge liability. She knew I had a small little business and I was trying to do this roommate matching. Whenever I did the roommate matching, I would tell people like it's a startup. The kid freaks out the first night, freaks out the other two roommates, starts knocking on every door in the building, takes his teddy bear. That should have been my fucking red flag, but I didn't know he had a fucking teddy bear. Throws it in the trash down the street and walks himself to check into fucking the hospital down the street in the psych ward. I was looking at the mom like, you're a fucking psychologist. You knew your kid was not ready to live on his own, let alone with two roommates. So both roommates were like, I can't live with this kid. I'm out. Shaz, money back guarantee. Yeah, I said that. No one checked that. No one cashed that in. Yeah, they cashed that in at least once, twice, I think. So I was like, fuck it. I'll figure it out. So I was like, give me fucking... Luckily, I think I had money. So I fronted them the money that time because that was a situation where I couldn't make them wait a month. Probably fucking rent money I was trying to save up. Yeah, so every time I'm trying to save up for fucking rent and then stuff like that happens. That's definitely a time I wanted to quit the business. I'm like, you're starting to build up a nut and then all of a sudden you're fucking, my hustles implodes. It's like some people would just fucking say, it's not me, I got the money, it's your problem. I'm like, no, it's my brand. No one can really say that I did business bad. People can like say maybe they didn't like my conversation, how I said no to them, this and that, but I did everything above table. Fucking do right and fear no man. It's just, I have to file taxes, but never file corporate taxes. But that is another discussion. That is a personal responsibility once I get my money right. What I've learned this year is pay good money for a lawyer and a tax man. The lawyer thing was just like, that's not fun going to court. It was interesting. I had my fill. Dealing with fucking people like that. So yeah, I was like, fuck it. I took it on me, took the apartment, re-rented it out. I kept the kid. I found two people willing to live with him. One of them, she used to do art therapy for people with issues. She was a beautiful sweetheart. Every now and then I'd say we should do something. She wasn't really feeling it. She was probably smart enough to stay away from a guy like me in that time in my life. But they had no more issues. They lived with him, fucking upped his medication or some shit. I told him, I had a heart to him. I was like, you want to go back home, live with your mom? Or you want to stay living in Manhattan? I know you like living in Manhattan. He did. He had fucking tons of model friends, dancer friends. He was a dancer. He was a good kid. I was like, I just had that whole come to Jesus moment with him. I was like, you're fucking up my business. I didn't tell him that. I didn't make it personal. But I was just like, look at dude, you have a really good situation here. Come on. I don't even know if I was that direct with him. I just like started checking in on him. I was just like, I need to, like, because I knew, I make it sound like he's a monster. Like, he didn't have another issue after that night, but that first night he freaked the fuck out. So I was like, I don't even know if he's a bipolar. I shouldn't speak about stuff I don't know. I just know he had a freak out. But when I tell the story, I'm like, fucking, I have to take the experience. I have to fucking talk about it. I have to fucking process it. I process shit. But he is, yeah. I didn't have an issue with him after that. And I found people in there. I stayed in one of the rooms is what it is. In my mind, I was just like, all right, I'll take one of the rooms, so that covers half of what I have to do. Now I only have to find one roommate, because it's him. He wanted to stay still. So I just had to find one person to replace him. And then the other person, what I did is, because Shaz, that's what it is. You have to fucking, that was time to punt. Because I can't do this and run my business. And this isn't going to pay my bills. I need to make at least $3 grand, $2-3 grand to keep my business running. I need like $1 grand living expenses. Manhattan is a bitch. And then $1 grand operating expenses for my business. And then I'm not getting ahead if I'm not making that extra grand or two. I'm not giving myself any cushion for the next month. So I need at least like 2 deals minimum. And then I built myself up to, my standing net was like I needed 10 grand minimum. Like those months where I had 10 grand standing net was ridiculous. That's when I had a car. I was paying my parents' car. So that's $1 grand right there. At one point I had 2 rents. I had my $2,600 rent and an old $2,200 rent. Because I'm going to explain how I got there to that point. build myself a life. I built my life up. I broke my back. I was fucking like, Shaz taking on too much shit. I was like, I can make money. Okay, I could do this consistently. And I just took on more and more shit. So like some of these months I was facing a fucking $10,000 minimum to make. And I always made it every month. That's why I put my credit up. For a good year or two, I didn't fucking miss a bill. I went from fucking irresponsible Shaz to like Shaz could handle his shit. That's why when I let it all go, that was probably me facing my fear. I was so much that I was stressing myself fucking out. And I was just like, does this even matter? This isn't what I was doing with my life. All of this when I was young, I thought it was all fucking make-believe. I never bought into the shit when I was young. Why am I buying so much into it now? And I started analyzing that. Oh, this is a reaction to fucking trauma. Occupy Wall Street was so traumatic that I went the opposite way in my life, to the point that this isn't even who I am. And then 1 month goes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not paying my bills. 2 months goes, and I'm like, am I really doing this? And then this whole year is just liberating. It's just like free fall Shaz, just like hit branches on the way down, boom, boom. My credit's hilarious now. It's in the 300s. I've never seen someone's credit in the 300s. We'll see if I could get it back. We'll see if I could still win. Can I still be a winner at life? I'd like climbed the little mountain. And I was like, you know what? We could start from here, but that's not fun. It's not fun to start halfway up the mountain. And then I jumped off the mountain. Tumbled. You know? I'd say fucking doing videos out of your parents' house with a fucked up back at 36 is probably... there could be lower spots, but I'm not interested in those. This is a good enough base camp for me to fucking start climbing back up the mountain of respectability. Launch my political campaign from my parents' house. Why not? Grounded in the right values. Not the West Village Shaz real estate values. Just Shaz going over his breadcrumbs in his life, picking up all of his values, the hard-won values of trying to live your philosophy and have a word. Earn the love of good women and the love of good friends. And all my little mini stands, even if they're pointless to other people, all meant something to me and reaffirmed a way that I look at the world and try to live. I find my contemporaries in history. When I read fucking Plato, I'm like, he's not a douchebag. There's blind spots. Everyone has blind spots. Might be I'm wrong as much as him, but like there's a lot of good here. There's a lot of virtue. And I think going into the Republic, I was like, Western civilization might just be a wash. And then after reading it, I was like, he predicted Trump. The right answers don't change. That's what like Woodcock misses the point of anarchism. Proudhon predicted the fucking technological revolution. The people. That's what I was in my walk today. I was thinking. I was like, I'm kind of like, if I had to think of people. That's when I read history and I find a new person that I relate to. I'm like, fuck yeah. But usually they're not my contemporaries, not in this time or place. But he's a man of modest means, whose ideas stood the test of time. Proudhon. He's a peasant from the fucking countryside, but his ideas only become more and more relevant. They saw the curve of technology and history and industrialization. They're like, all right, man could be working only a half an hour a week if you wanted to, if we actually organize this shit, but we're gonna have to do away with a lot of this inefficiency and the violence and the stupidity and the fucking propaganda of deed. That's not where it's at. Like the Kropotkins and stuff, they're like, this is a battle of ideas. If we get our ideas out, that's what's gonna change the world. Proudhon was talking about, we need our own bank. Fucking has the fucking progressive left even fucking come up with that? It's like we need to decentralize the fucking authoritarian structures in our society. That's what Bitcoin is. Decentralized banking. Bitcoin is a Proudhonian idea. If it was applied as such, it's becoming more authoritarian. How do I know? I'm a guy on the inside. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to tackle the next video. We're going to tackle that fucking question mark of what did I do after Tribeca. We'll figure it out. The ideas are coming out, Shaz. They're stored in that mind somewhere. Coffee, that's what you need. You need some coffee, poor man's cocaine. Or you need some cocaine, the rich man's coffee. I don't know. Nah, we need 12 more hours, Shaz. And then we get on to doing what we're going to be doing for 2019, closing out 2018 in a good way.